Today we're talking about off-grid living and forest gardening, right here on Cabin Life.
Hello, welcome to our channel. We're all about sharing our adventures and experiences around our homestead and off-grid cabin here on our 40 acres in the wilderness of Ontario, Canada.
We enjoy life around the cabin, exploring, canoeing, hiking, campfire cooking, gardening, and sharing our love of nature.
If you haven't done so yet, consider subscribing and click the little notification bell so you won't miss anything. Right here on Cabin Life with Glenn and Maureen.
Hi, and welcome to our channel. I'm Maureen, and today I'm going to talk to you about off-grid living and gardening. This morning when I came out to the garden, I was thinking about gardening and being off-grid and sort of comparing the two and how there's a lot of similarities between gardening and living off-grid. One thing is, both gardening and off-grid living teach people the value of finite resources. Like there's only so much we have. Like the tomato plants or the onions or any plants in your garden, they're a finite resource. If you take care of them and you treat them properly, they will feed you. They will put food on your table and food in your pantry for your family through the winter or through the hard times. And the same with off-grid living. It also teaches you the value of the finite resources of the sun and the wind so that you can capture the sun power and the wind power to charge up your batteries. Now, before moving on to this property, I was one of those go to the grocery store kind of girls. I'd go to the grocery store on the way home from work, or if I had to go to town, which was a lot when I was working. Well, once we moved here, and it's such a drive, such a distance to go to the stores, it's important to become self-reliant here because being remote living, it forces more self-reliance. So each year we have been improving on our garden and getting it growing better and learning more about how we need to garden where we are, especially with an off-grid garden, like making certain we have our water for the plants to keep the beds wet. It's been so dry, we're hoping to get some rain today. And so I've really committed to learning how to grow a self-reliant garden. I've had some successes, I've had some failures. Last year was a really interesting one. These were our lasagna beds, this one here and this and back here. And they've done really well. They've created a super bed for this year. So our plants are doing really good. I've got some herbs growing. I've got the tomato plants. Our potatoes are finally starting to come up a little bit. Our radishes and our carrots, they were coming up just great guns. And then I didn't water the garden one morning and it got really hot and they're gone. So I'll be planting more of those. Onions are doing great. The herbs are doing good. The cucumbers, the potatoes, the tomatoes, they've got blossoms on them. And we've got our herbs. We got sage, spearmint, we got peppermint, we got some parsley, some thyme, and we got rhubarb going. Oh, we got peppermint too. Oh, peppermint. Can't wait to get our peppermint for the tea. Italian oregano is doing fabulous. And oh, I gotta remember to show you our mystery plant. Now, our mystery plant, that was from the greenhouse. I went to an organic greenhouse where I bought my plants from. They said they had these seeds, they weren't sure what they were, so they potted them up and they gave them away to customers. And they said, we don't know what it is, we hope you can enjoy it. And no one knows what it is. If you have an idea and you think you know what it is, put it down in the comments what you think our mystery plant is. I can remember this one day when I was a child. We had some friends and family over at the house visiting for a garden barbecue, and everybody was enjoying themselves. It was a beautiful, hot, sunny day. And then all of a sudden my mother jumped up and she says, oh, we got to move inside. We got to get all the stuff put in the shed. The rain's coming. And everyone questioned her. They said, what do you mean? It's a beautiful day. And she said, can't you smell the rain? I said, what do you mean, Mom? And she said, smell the rain. She said, smell the air, learn the air, and then you'll learn a lot about nature and what's going on. And you know what? Sure enough, we had one humdinger of a thunderstorm that afternoon, about half hour after everybody went in the house. the rain just poured down, and that really got my curiosity up. What do you mean? Like, Mom, how do we know? And she says, you need to be able to tell by the wind and the smell of the air what's going on. She said, you need to have a good thumb on the heartbeat of nature when you're farming. You need to be able to understand and read the weather and read the ground and read the animals so that you know what's going on, so that you can stay in tune. Unfortunately, in modern society, a lot of people, we've lost that touch, that sense of what's going on with the weather, the feel for the rhythm of the earth, because we've come to rely on the grocery stores for our food. We don't need to worry about what's happening. We can just turn on the radio, we can just turn on the TV or on the internet and find out what's going on. But really, when you're off-grid, when you're self-reliant, it brings you into that. It brings you into the tone of the earth and the rhythm of the earth, so that you know what's going on, because our self-reliance depends on it. Our survival depends on it. So it's really important to learn that. And that's what I find is a similarity between the garden and off-grid, because both of those depend on our ability to feel the rhythm of the earth. Growing a self-sustaining garden is a lot of work, it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of dedication, but the payoff, the rewards are awesome. And it's the same with off-grid living. There are so many rewards. I'm going to show you the apple tree clippings. Now, for those who are new to our channel or didn't see the previous episode, check out this episode here. It's where we went back to the location where we found a wild apple tree last summer, and we clipped some of the branches off to root them so we could have apple trees here. And I wanted to give you a report and show you how they're doing. They're just in the cabin, so we'll just have to go in and take a look there. I was so excited to show you these today because they were doing so well. But now this one, it seems to be okay, but I can see some blight on it. I came and checked it a couple of days ago, gave it a spray. It was good, but we'll have to keep our fingers crossed. That's the one. Yeah, it's so beautiful here today. It's just gorgeous. It was beautiful working in the garden today. Yeah, see, there's a lot of similarities between gardens, the self-sustaining garden, and off-grid living. You know, your commitment and your dedication pays off multifold. You know, with your garden, you get a bounty at harvest time, and with the off-grid cabin, we get this. It's really nice. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Maureen for Glenn. Over and out, and take care.